Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. Sorry I haven't posted this video earlier this week. It's still going to give you a little bit of time to check it out. But this is the weekend preview for the DAZN card taking place Saturday. Pretty much just going to talk about the main event. To be honest, I've been real busy with work this week, so I didn't even have a chance to look at the undercard. But as I remember off the top of my head, I don't think it was a very... big undercard. Just the main event to talk about the rematch between Alexander Povetkin and Whyte for the WBC Interim Heavyweight Championship of the World. So these two guys fought in August of last year, and it was a really good fight between the two. It started off with pretty much Whyte controlling the action. The first 3-4 rounds, he even put Povetkin down, had him hurt, and it looked like he was going to finish off Povetkin by breaking him down a little bit more. And then disaster struck in the 5th round for Whyte as Povetkin slipped to the left and landed a brutal and beautifully timed uppercut on Whyte and laid him out cold with that shot, as he became the WBC Interim Heavyweight Champion of the World. Now that derailed, the mandatory fight with champion Tyson Fury, but now Fury and Joshua are locking up. So a mandatory rematch was called by Whyte to get Povetkin back in the ring. They were supposed to fight, I think, at the end of the year in November or December. And Povetkin tested positive for COVID, so now these two guys are locking up here on March 27th on DAZN, and it's going to be a good fight. I'm really looking forward to this rematch right here. Whyte needs to avenge that loss. I mean, it's a must-win fight for Whyte right here. If he loses again, it's going to be, he's going to drop even more, and I don't know if he ever bounces back after that. It's going to be a tough one. But so it's a must-win fight for Whyte. It's also a must-win fight for Povetkin, because Povetkin's at the end of his career. He's 41, 42. If he wants to have one last big shot at a champion, at a world title, he has to win this fight. A loss, especially if it's by knockout, would probably end his career. Or at least the believable part that he could be a threat again. So it's a very important fight for Alexander Povetkin right here, to prove that the first time wasn't a fluke and to move forward towards a world title shot again and try to become a world champion again. So we're going to see March 27th on DAZN. What kind of fight is this going to be? Well, I think Whyte's going to try to box like he did the first time and set up Povetkin. But can he avoid Povetkin's power shots? Can he avoid that? I think Povetkin's going to come in really good shape. I don't believe he's overlooking. I believe he's going to be very confident of the first victory. And I think he's going to repeat himself. I think eventually he's going to catch Whyte and knock him out. It could go the other way. I definitely think Whyte can win the fight for sure. But the thing that I'm concerned with Whyte is in watching some of his bigger fights that I've seen him in, Whyte does get hit. He gets hit quite a bit. He does not play very good defense, even in some of his better performances. We take the Anthony Joshua knockout, take that off the table. He did well, and then he got knocked out. But, other fights, the Joseph Parker fight, he almost got knocked out at the end of that fight. Joseph Parker's a tough customer, though. The Oscar Rivas fight, he was controlling the action, outboxing, outworking Rivas, and then he got hit in the late rounds and put down. The rematch with Derek Chisora was losing on points, was getting hit with some good shots, scored a monster knockout in the 11th round, I believe it was, of that fight. But it was a fight that, if it goes to the scorecards, he might lose. And now, against Povetkin, who's always has had dangerous power, I just don't think he's going to be able to avoid that. And I think he's going to be a little cautious and try to box and set it up, which he could do, and he could end up knocking Povetkin out, to be honest. But I don't know. For some reason, I just think Povetkin, the way he laid him out, the way he set that punch up, I think the second time he's going to be more aggressive in terms of boxing and setting up his shots, knowing that he just has to time a good one and he can lay Dillian Whyte out and hurt him. So, you know, Dillian Whyte is he's going to have to bring his A game to win this fight, which he very well could. I really think it's a 50-50 fight. I think Povetkin can repeat it. I think he can win by a decision as well. But I think Povetkin, it's more knockout. If it goes to the scorecards, he could win a decision, but I think it probably favors Dillian Whyte if it goes to the scorecards. If it's by knockout, I think it could go either way, but I'm going to go with Povetkin in this one. I'm going to pick him to win by knockout again a few rounds later, probably towards around 7, 8, 9, one of those rounds, and he will keep the interim belt. But again, I think Dillian Whyte is a very live, if you're calling him even an underdog, and I think he can very well win this fight for sure. So it's going to be a good one Saturday, March 27th on DAZN. I hope you guys enjoyed this. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.